Hello. How's it going? Yeah, we gotta hang on a little bit. Something's happening. Hi, Atlas. How are you? Before we get started, can I just say something? Yeah, sure. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. Going somewhere? But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate it. Oh yeah, before this, I set the clock to the time. Not sure which direction, but it's going. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead and pick whatever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game. That's cute. Whoa. Whoa, thank you. It's perfect. That was perfect. It's Stanley Parabole 2.
This is the story of...
Hi, Raven. Can you get off my face now? Christ, it was just a fucking tub. Oh. Hey, the balloons are here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Happy
could it
12th
mean?
birthday, stepniece.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I did.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I have the safety bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yes, I did. Because this'll get me the most important ending.
Still no one was here.
Man,
Stanley needed
crazy.
the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Yeah.
The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
What?
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
No, fuck you.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's
No, fuck
supposed
you.
to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
I will
I
not.
know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong.
I am
This
strong.
is your bucket.
It is.
This is your companion
Yes.
and lifelong friend.
Yes.
You can't hand it over.
I can't.
Oh, no.
I'll come in the
We're
bucket.
getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
Yeah.
Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
Bro, what the fuck?
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
What the fuck?
That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an
Maybe me and the
even
closet could
partially
share the bucket, but
enticing
he called me
manner?
names.
Well, I never.
Never.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it.
Give me a
Really
punch button.
tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
Fuck you.
Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
Yeah.
Go through each of them point by point.
Okay.
Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years.
Yeah.
Let him have it.
Fuck you. Bitch. My bucket.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Property is
There.
Stanley.
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with
Yeah,
all your
fuck you.
meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Fuck you. Bitch.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm
Oh.
going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see?
Bucket.
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
That's so good.
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket.
Yeah.
There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. You know what? Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Fuck! 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 I missed the stickers.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
So comforted.
Stanley clutched the bucket
I
tightly
want the
to
rest
his
of the
chest
stickers.
and entered the door on his left.
So I did. But no one was here. That's fucking crazy.
No one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers.
Shit.
If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours.
Fuck.
But alas, no stickers.
Damn it. No stickers?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
Hell
You
yeah.
can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
Good saying.
So, I implore you to savor
Alcohol
each
and
and
fucking
every
chicken wing.
moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I mean, that's actually brought me happiness. Extreme bathrooms. Oh yeah, there's no jump button. I forgot about that. Okay. Business strategy. Oh, strategy. Ah. Yeah, I'd like to go down, please. Down. Do 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 do. Stanley. 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 We're gonna play a little drinking game. Drink every time they say Stanley. Oh, that'll get you fucked up instantly, actually. They say Stanley a lot. Recommendations from the Oversight Committee. I hate to say this, I know it could get timed out or even banned, but she's never enough time in order to get enough. I'll help her. You don't gotta apologize. No apology. It's more of helper, and here I am. do, do, do. Wait, no, not. Yeah. Excuse me. Go follow if you wanna. Spreading the word as I said I would. That's appreciated. Oh, okay, let's go up then. What's up? Oh, thank you for the follow. How you doing, Skywolf? I appreciate you following me back. You didn't have to do that. Ah, what's up, Ken? Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Stanley. Doo, 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 doo.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Yeah, I'm
Crushed by the
stunned.
weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
I know, right?
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the
Stan.
dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
The bucket.
It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
I didn't.
Nor in
Sorry.
his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I shipped Dawson in the bucket. Hell yeah.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Ah, shit. Yeah, okay, my bad.
$2845.
Ah, shit, that was genuine accident. My bad. God damn it. Here, let me...
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, And the
Oh.
door just opened all by itself.
Oh, okay,
And
okay,
Stanley
good.
got the hell along with the story. Well, what did he do?
Ah. I fucking love this game. Bishop Dawson in the bucket. Yo, another one!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini
Stanley
stands.
figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Oh, cool. Oh. I didn't realize you can walk back there. Huh.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring
Staying
that
from
in this
American
darkest
Dad.
moment
Yeah,
of uncertainty,
baby.
he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Whoa. Oh, okay. The bucket. Yeah, the bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
And so I did.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. I love violence. Hey,
The
kids,
door
do you
behind
like...
them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
You like violence? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Yeah. But the end is never the end. It's never the end. The jaw! Nah, I'm kidding. I'm gonna walk forward. Do 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 do. Yeah, but I have the bucket here. Uh-oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself,
Yeah.
and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
Ah, fuck you. I love the
Farewell,
bucket.
Stanley.
Bye.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator.
Different
As
narrator.
Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently
Only
to
the
death.
buckets, though. Oh. Oh, okay. I love...
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket.
Yeah.
It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way,
Yeah.
but this one stood above the rest.
Oh, the
It was a
bucket.
glorious bucket to behold.
Yeah, it was. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge, much like the bucket. The human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging, about the information in this exhibit. Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
$25 buckets. Family portrait, yeah. Photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks, the result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. I think that's got to be at most 25 buckets. A bucket with 2 handles. Oh. Bucket with... This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimented. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. That's fucking crazy, dude. And I'm really appreciating life. Inferno bucket. Or a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with just one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Stress bucket. In and out. Worrying. Negative forecasting. Negative. Thank you, Diamond. I'm really loving the bucket. The stress bucket presented without commentary. What's up? I'm back from the Boyd. Well, we're looking at buckets right now. Oh, cave drawing. Okay. There was a leak. They tried to hide the leak with the bucket. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical use of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be treasures. So true. So true, bestie. I mean, also those deer.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one.
Yeah.
It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
I will crouch before the bucket. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity. However... Wait, I thought Diamond was streaming? Diamond is streaming. Wi-Fi is garbage where I'm at. Oh, I'm sorry. However, clear our grasp of the bucket may be, yet there is much more. It's always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Bucket. Oh. I was able to walk on the air.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Like the cartoons, you only fall down if you look down, but I did look down. I died. With the bucket. Oh no, is the bucket gone?
All of his co-workers were
I don't
gone.
fucking care about my
What could it
co-workers. I
mean?
care about the bucket.
Stanley
Yo,
decided to go to the meeting
figurine
room.
fighters
Perhaps
meeting
he had
today in the
simply
meeting
missed a
room.
memo.
Okay. Oh, thank God the bucket's here.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Oh, thank God. Oh, God, I was almost scared for a second that I lost the bucket. Bucket. After all this time, I never went through the right door.
And entered the door on
like
his
in this
left.
game. Alright, yo, what's up? Meeting today? Oh. Warehouse access plan. Produce one plank to allow ease access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. Agenda. How can you tell you spotted one? What makes it float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? Oh. Mission status. Very large. Follow clues provided by our employee 416. We can do it. Red room? By the sequel exhibit. A large room. Lots of boxes. Stairs. Nearby. Thank you. Good luck. Something to do with stairs. Some are both red and blue. Near a fireplace and... Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. Bottom text. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. There will be a reward for finding them all. Lies, who are you? 666, lol. There will be cleaning of the wall required. I want to go home. I want them so much, stop kidding yourselves. Trust the completionist instinct. Alright, I'm gonna embezzle $600,000. Okay. Broom closet.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom
okay.
closet, simply because I have no remaining sticker. Coming to a staircase, Stanley
Raven
and the
move.
bucket
Raven
walked
move.
upstairs
Raven
to the
move.
boss's
Raven move.
office.
Raven move.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What
Figlies.
name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one?
Figlies.
Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Figlies. Yeah, I choose Figlies.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing
I
his
like
boss,
Figlies, too.
admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished?
That's crazy.
His boss would think he was crazy.
Yeah.
And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Oh, this
He
doesn't
looked down
change.
at the bucket
Oh,
in his
okay.
arms.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Oh, it returned my
That's
gaze at
strange,
least.
Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these.
Diamante is the most
He held
annoying
the
character
bucket
so
close,
far in One
yet
Piece.
felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's
What?
just a normal, everyday bucket.
Holy
Someone
fuck.
else's bucket, perhaps.
No, but it's
How
property
did
of
I end up
Stanley.
with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good
No.
would come from this.
No, my bucket.
Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed,
What the fuck?
now he noticed that the rooms were repeating.
They
which
are?
was, of course, very odd.
Holy shit.
Now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Oh, God.
Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Call me.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Holy fuck.
Could it truly be? He
Bucket.
rushed forward from room to room,
Bucket,
passing by
bucket.
one bucket after
Bucket.
the next.
Oh,
None
God.
of them were his. None
Oh,
of them were
God.
his special bucket.
Come
Fuck.
to me, Stanley! Find me!
Where's mine?
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And
Yeah.
then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Where are my
It was
feet?
incredibly painful.
Oh, God.
Stanley
Also, Diamond
doubled
is
over
cute,
in
yeah.
agony and blacked out.
Blech.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Jesus.
Right away, she knew what the problem was.
He didn't have a bucket.
This man had no bucket.
Holy shit.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mary.
I know, right? So
And
cruel.
she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything.
Yeah.
Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Fuck yeah, Mariella. You love to see it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Yep. And with the bucket in my arms.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
Holy
The
shit.
bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the
Reasonable.
bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim.
Yeah.
The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of...
No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
Oh.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
What the fuck?
My God.
What the
Stanley,
fuck?
You did it. You saved us from the bucket.
No!
Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise,
No!
we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today.
bucket!
Come, let's restart the game.
Yes,
and we'll
please.
agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
I'm gonna trifle with this bucket immediately.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers.
Wait, what?
He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Oh, fuck you.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So I didn't.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I'm
But Stanley
confused.
had
Why are you
felt the bucket
confused?
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Ah, yes. How true that is.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Why are you confused? Number one, Dad.
Truly, being here with the
Who
bucket
farted?
was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Oh, yeah. The lovely adventure, me and the bucket.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Coffee nut.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Clearly. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh. Hello, Dawson, my good friend. I didn't get blah 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 blah. Hi, Finji. How you doing?
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Ah, the first open door on my left. Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. New subscriptions icons? Yeah,
No.
I drew.
Oh,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I drew very poorly. Uh. Do I have it saved? Drew 2. Omni-Man kissing Goku. Please don't ask. I drew this. It's from the game Shotgun Roulette, but I just drew over a boy kisser meme. I'm not good at drawing. Hell yeah, looks great. Huh. What? I don't know, let that stop me. It's therapeutic. Is that boy kisser Pikachu? Nah, fool, it's boy kisser Dasachu. But also, I mean, technically, yes. And also, I mean, technically, this picture is the little subscriber icon. So what I'm gonna do, as I start drawing more, I'm gonna make more icons.
This is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer
I picture you with chicken
euphoria I
feet.
feel
Wow.
every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down
That fucking hilarious. I do have chicken feet.
doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when
Chicken.
this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Hey, yo.
Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Holy shit. What? Excuse me, what the fuck?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very
Ring the
much
lower
that
alarm.
it was. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Yeah. The normal...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I don't know left to right. Good map pad.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room. Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge
But I can't
was
get map
simply
pad.
the
He's
place
leaving
to
in
be.
5 more
And
game
here
theory
it was.
episodes.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Oh, fuck you.
Stanley
You didn't want
took
to
the
narrate
door
all
on his
that.
left to go back to the meeting room,
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Okay.
Stanley didn't, but Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
I'm actually
All of his
200
co-workers
or
were
so
gone.
feet away from
What
putting
could
you
it
in a
mean?
bucket.
Stanley
I still
decided
want
to
the
go to
feed
the
pics.
meeting room. Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Sadly, MatPat isn't doing lore
Stanley
videos
clutched
anymore.
the bucket
He's not
tightly
doing
to
any
his-
videos
This was
anymore.
not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be
Nope.
correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Also, you're close to putting me
No,
in a jar.
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
You're getting close now, Stanley.
Oh, yeah.
You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used
The
to
bucket
have
because you're
none
holding
of
one.
them.
Ah, true.
And now we have them all. You can't go back
Here,
to
wait,
when
let me
you
find a
had
bucket
no Figler
PNG.
and Marines. None of us can.
Images. Bucket. That there. Add a thing. I hope you know what it is that you're doing here. I am gonna put it in a bucket because it's funny. God, that's too much. Oh. So the actual one puts me in my like camera. Boop-a-doop. Doesn't work out at all. I need one without the handle in the way. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah, that one's good. Bucket 2. Select the image. Bucket 2. Holy fuck, that's a big ass bucket. Bucket 1. Put it. Bucket 2. I go in. I need like a horizontal picture. This is fine enough. Because the actual one is this. Puts me in a jar. I didn't realize I had it on. This is a bucket. Dear God, there's more. No. But this bucket is good. Is there any way for me to get down from here? Nope.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to... Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
If you did accidentally show the camera thing, I didn't see it, I was drinking tea. The end is never the end, is never the end, is
A
never the
strong
end.
bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
So I did show it. Hi. It's the real me, wow. I am not confident. Also, like, yeah. Back there. It's a jar of jar. See, I want to figure out how to, like... I may or may not be doing this just because of the sheer silliness of it. Alright, GIMP moment. Excuse me. I'm gonna see... Lock it too. I want... Select? Wanna like... Eat bucket. Oh! It said it's intelligent. This is not intelligent. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It doesn't have to look good, it just has to work. Alright. Shit. How do I cut it out, though? I've never... Get redeemable chest labeled. This is... Never done this. Don't ask me, I don't know how to do things like that. Me neither. Two layer. Not worth it. I just selected it. A fun fact, I had two people say they had feelings for me today, one girl and one boy.
Stanley
Nice.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way
found
to the
out that
meeting
everybody that I
room.
like
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him
is either
that the
dating somebody
employee
or
lounge
not looking.
was simply
It's
the
great.
place to be.
Cheers.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room.
Oh
Go
my.
somewhere else. A cargo lift, yeah, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Danger, danger everywhere. Or they're too far away, and I don't really like.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't
Called
a bucket?
orgasm.
I
That's
suppose that would
hilarious.
explain a lot about your behavior up to this point.
Thought everyone feared me
which,
'cause of my one eye.
If that's true, well, my goodness. I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Oh, yeah, okay. Orgasm. That's funnier.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Bucket?
Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Hourgasm. Communism.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a fucking audience landline on this. What is this game? It makes my brain hurt. The hamster inside is working overtime.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
This is a bucket.
Damn it. Nian.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
It's both. It's both not a bucket and a bucket. Schrodinger's bucket.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes, thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
The implications. The implications.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out.
Oh, okay.
I've lost all sense of perspective.
It's a bucket.
What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence.
Good.
And yet now I'm somewhat adrift.
Yeah.
Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yeah, I fill you up.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart.
I don't care, you're a bucket.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay, here we go.
No! Fuck.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh, God, I had no idea. Who could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here.
Holy
You're not a
shit.
bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Yeah, that's good. Yippee.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Okay, yeah,
Who
no.
knows what that information might do to a person?
Everything
All right,
is a bucket.
Here we go.
Here, wait, I gotta do something real quick. Boop-a-doop-a-boo, whoopity-scoop, poopity-scoop whoop. It reminds me of the Toilet Chronicles. I don't think I've heard of that. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I wonder if there's a TF2 reference. Yes. A bucket. Dear God. But wait, there's more. No. God, there's not really many bucket PNG. I'm still on the buckets? What do you mean, still? I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't for a while. Look, I'm taking a shower. Bucket hat.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
farted?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Who fucking farted?
Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Are you just gonna put a bucket on your screen whenever you get an ending?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the
But that's an
employee
excellent
lounge
idea.
was simply the place to be.
It was.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No.
Nope.
Never mind.
Bucket.
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Here's the door on my left.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo
You have
lift,
for
yes.
anyone who
Good.
joins
said the
will
bucket.
be so
Now
confused.
ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
As if that's
Stanley
not
did
literally
not
every
question why
screen
or
I
how
have.
this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him,
Yeah.
and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I do. I do what the bucket tells me. I live for the bucket, I live in the bucket. I fuck the bucket. Fuck the fuck it. Don't
In
fuck the
here,
bucket? Can I
said
buck
the
the
bucket.
fucket?
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
I just drank 2 Red Bulls. Hell yeah.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh. Ding dong. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press I to take me to work with. Okay.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press J to take me back home with you. Stuff is called Wet Head. The bucket shot reminds me of the game with the hat where if you pull the wrong stick, you get stoked with whatever side. Second off, I looked at the game where you pull the wrong lever, you get...
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Press Z to go back to work.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
When did the KFC bucket come here? What do you mean? Press L for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Just have to ignore anyone in your life except me.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press G to get back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier.
Yeah.
More capable of transporting liquid.
Yeah.
Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Exactly. Capable ass bucket right there. There's X to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Look away, and every time every time I come back there's a new bucket. I'm losing my marbles.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now.
Close
Give
your
it,
eyes,
or
close
I'll-
your eyes, close your... Back to work, Stan.
morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Huh.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Yeah.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Banger of a bucket string. Alright. Okay, let's make it just a little bit better. Hell yeah. Fascinating.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
And so I did. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Hey!
Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Certainly. There's no other explanation for this. Place an order for KFC. I was a bit hungry. Ah, shit. Apologies.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
And so I did. How did I make you hungry?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
No need, I've just felt like having KFC didn't influence at all. Oh, really? No subliminal messaging at all.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it
Nope,
gently,
the right of the screen only
reassuring
has
it
a bucket.
that everything
Yep.
would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
That is so true.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
A really sassy comment. But where's button number 1? Oh, there it is. Probably said something badass like bucket. Bucket all to heck. Oh. Hello? Oh god, the puns possible with the word bucket. I know, right?
When at last they came, but at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
Oh no!
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly birds.
Holy fuck.
The control buttons became active again.
Sack of shit
Stanley
bucket.
flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Very happy watching silly birds. Because I am a silly, I think, cat creature.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Cardboard boxes from the... Oh! Oh, I love that. That's hilarious.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Oh, yeah. What? Uh... What the fuck?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. So I did, huh? Oh, okay, so I got everything except for somewhere both red and blue.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
So I did. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. We're both red and...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical
Moved area from the warehouse
explanation.
somewhere else to go, maybe jump off the catwalk? Oh, I already did that. Shit, I should have gone the other way.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oh, I did. Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Yeah.
Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered.
No idea.
Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Okay.
So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Ooh, paninis.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it
Yeah.
really started to feel like a home.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all.
Oh, okay.
He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there,
That's
never been
fine.
able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack
Where did
of
they find
closure
these?
began to eat at him.
Ah.
Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
Oh, no.
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake
two
to
is less
leave the
than
path.
one.
It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I
Never
need to do
underestimate
what the
coffee
narrator
enjoyer,
says. I
whether
need to
something's
see
very
the
real.
true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable.
Rip a dog.
This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And
Yeah.
maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually.
Hopefully.
It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Yeah. Give me my buckets.
morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It is. Look
And
at
here
it. They got cold
Had
drinks.
the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes,
Yeah.
Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Perhaps.
How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Very good bucket. I will be right back. Just enjoy the bucket. Please. Bucket's done a lot for you.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Howdy, Delottie. How's it going? Apologies, I had to go to the bathroom and was hoping that you would just enjoy the splendor of the bucket.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
And so I did.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Doing pretty good? Hell yeah.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Well, from here, it looks like the only way forward is down, since the lift won't be coming back, but that's okay. You've got a bucket. Did you know that buckets are routinely used as cushioning devices? It's true. You can fall on a bucket from literally any height and survive.
Oh, okay.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong.
Fuck!
How clumsy of me.
What an asshole.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something?
It was.
He hoped it was. Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate.
Make that thing below where the lift goes?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Maybe.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It is.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was
Wow.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Danger everywhere. Still no buckets?
No, stop.
Damn it.
Look there on the wall. You see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets
We went over
past
this.
point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
The
I
other
suppose
door?
that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this All of his co-workers were
Oh,
gone.
no, we can't do the
What
other
could
door.
it
It's
mean?
locked by a key card.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted
I'm
to
gonna try
stop
that
by
door
the
without
employee
the
lounge
bucket.
first, just to admire it.
I really
It was
hope it
okay.
says you need a bucket to enter.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So I did. The first open door on my
Stanley
left.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Balloons.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Yeah.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
A little
but
bit.
the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
True.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Oh,
Are you
fuck you.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Only a little.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay. Prove it. Oh.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red... And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Yay!
Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of
I was
you
kinda
for
right.
collecting
Hell
them,
yeah.
but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I wasn't paying attention. What door?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Comedy.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Yeah.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yeah, we did that last
You
time.
might think I put a lot of time into that, because I did.
I mean, I know
and
you
in
did.
the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing
That
so
wall
far.
texture's misaligned.
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Why the hell have a door that leads? Exactly. Door's not supposed to go there. Why hell have it?
Okay, so we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's something here that speaks to you.
Exploration.
If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Total, that many doors opened. Attempted, steps taken. Okay. You know that 21.3% of players skip the intro sequence? Only the worst 3% of players choose the door. 98. How long does it take you to get the correct door? Compete against your friends. Competing against others to improve your Stanley Parable. Oh, this is me? Dossachu, what? Why not ask some friends? Friends list empty? What? I have friends. See? A dead rat is offline. This is my superior. A dead rat is objectively ranked above me. Damn. That's fucking crazy. And it just Okay, third door again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Of course, let's do it.
Let me boot it up.
All right.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
Okay.
You click the button to move him back to the right.
The
And
baby,
if he
let's
reaches
go.
the fire, you fail. It's
Oh,
a very
okay.
meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
Me
But
too.
of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you
All right.
give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Yeah, I
Be
was going to
sure
celebrate
keep
my
notes
friend's
on your
birthday, but I'll do this
experience.
instead. I'm not sure if I like these noises. Oh, my bad. Here, let me just... There we go. It's a lot better now because you could barely hear it. Oh, this is great. I'm not actually going to do the full 4 hours. I'm just waiting for the second button. Because somebody did do this for 4 hours. They make it to where a second button shows up. So that way you can't just cheese it and, like, you know, auto-click away. I just want to see that, then we can move on. This is entertaining. Oh my god. Just die. Die. Fuck you. I'm not waiting. Die.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Both.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
It's over.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for playing.
You're welcome.
Your input was extremely valuable.
Of course.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Yeah, sure. I'm down for
Let's
Minecraft.
see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Oh!
Aha!
I
Fascinating.
heard Minecraft. What?
What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What
Oh,
is
it's,
our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some
It's
sort
Firewatch.
of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay, so in the original Stanley Parable, it was Minecraft. But now it's Firewatch. I heard Minecraft what?
Oh no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
What? No!
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Oh.
I really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Yeah.
Out of the woods now, Stanley.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Yeah.
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Like Minecraft?
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just
This is
a
all
nice
new.
big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Yeah. I'm lost.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
Yeah.
We shall
I'll be-
run the bases and do a touchdown together.
Yeah.
Yes, I think surely we must.
Okay.
Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Where's the ball? Ball. Oh, you actually go faster, thank God.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is
Yeah.
it better than
Oh,
my
it went in. It
miserable
didn't
little
explode.
story that I worked so hard on?
A little bit.
Hold
Oh,
on.
shit.
What are you doing?
Oh, no.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh, shit, I fell down again. I'm not sure how I feel about this. My, a jump start would make sense. Yeah. I mean, jump scare. Yeah. It would make so much sense here. Jesus Christ. Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that
nump
comes
scare.
with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Narrator probably wants to kill us. Okay, but the end is never the end is never the end. Huh. Whoa, what the fuck?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one.
Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Yeah,
Didn't
actually.
it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Yeah.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Holy
I
fuck, the
would love
memory
nothing
zone!
more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Stanley found the collectible.
Here's where it all began.
Yeah.
The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stan.
Wait, if we're remembering getting the first one, can I get it again? What? 7 out of 6.
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
8.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Yeah, it was in the boss's office.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
True.
I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third
I'm gonna go, I
one
got a
doing
birthday
anything.
party to attend. Oh shit, is it Diamond? Because if so, then F on your buckets. I will. I'm only gonna be doing this for a little bit longer.
Let's
Because
see,
I also
what
have a
came
birthday
next?
party to attend.
Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Diamond? Lock?
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly
people are
special
having
to
birthdays.
me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh, okay. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy fuck. It's mini stand number 5. Holy shit. Woo! We found it near the cargo lift. Thanks for watching. Best Boy, the narrator, starring Sam Lee. Copyright the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
Oh, it
I
so
spent a lot
does.
of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
God, I fucking loved that. Oh my god.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Yeah.
This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind,
Yeah,
perhaps
same.
because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works?
Ah.
All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
You are in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move
yeah, no,
on
Diamond Blocks
into the future.
birthday.
Goodbye, Memory Zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Yeah, that's whose I'm going to? Hell yeah. Same.
Okay,
Told me it
yes,
starts in
the
15
room with
minutes.
the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Yeah, one more, like 13, close enough. 12, actually. At this new minute.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
I love that. Okay, my joke doesn't make sense because the time updated. I mean, it does make sense. I'm just joking with you. I feel like this one wasn't right at all.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Solid room, yeah. I had to move the fucking Jolly Bees.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Oh yeah, yep. And maybe I'll see you there. You definitely will. There.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too.
Yeah.
The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it?
Because they're
Keep going.
insane.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I
Fortunate Slave
introduced you
Bequest
to the figurines.
Yeah.
Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Nothing. The real first collectible.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything.
Yeah.
In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Me too. I just wish
Look
I could
how
jump
much
more.
fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Okay. Yeah. We got 13 and a half minutes left.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office.
Yep.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
I was clicking.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I
Orion,
think for myself again.
what are you doing?
I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it.
There are other things
I'll be
you could
strong
throw
this
at me.
time. I'll take
Like
care
pigeon
of
and egg.
myself. I don't need Stanley
Holy
anymore.
fuck, first time
Oh,
chat.
but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go
You've been
back
here God
just
knows how
once
long.
and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much.
Don't ask about the buckets.
Okay, here we go. This
Knowing Orion,
is the
he's been here the
story of a
entire
man
time.
named Stanley.
I was too.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
I do. Never the end, never the end, never the end.
Stanley's bucket, the only co-worker he
The
would
end is
ever
never the end, is
truly
never the end, is never the end, is never the end. End is never.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here.
Crazy.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Yeah.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Maybe.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing
Not
presence
a hugging
of the
cold
bucket.
bucket set of chilled.
Even
Fine
now,
and not in a good
in
way.
his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were
I was hit by a
inseparable.
tomato.
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk, nor in his
I'm
bliss
very-
of simply being near the bucket. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical
You got good aim because I'm
explanation.
very tiny right now. Oh, huh. Okay, at least the bucket's catching everything. Hello again. Hello.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Well, I was going to return all your points, but it appears that somebody else already...
The lights rose on an enormous
Hello,
room
Shadow.
packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Boo-boo-boo. Sorry about earlier. I know I broke a rule. What rule?
Monitors jumped to life.
I'm pretty sure my only rules are like, be nice, have
Everyone in
fun,
the
and don't
office
be
was being
offensive or
videotaped.
racist.
monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as
Like
Stanley
intentionally.
cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
No promotion isn't a rule. It's more of like a there's a difference between like, hey, this person that I know or like this person that I watch needs help versus like
bucket been told to do things.
Versus like, hey dude, you should come to my stream because I'm much better. You can suck my dick, feck. Like, no, there's a difference, you know. I don't think in my chat rules self promotion is a rule. But yeah. Also, I mean, it's not self promotion. Because, like, most of the time, I'm gonna get ready for the thing. That's what I'm doing currently, putting on my full body trackers. But, like, most of the time, I would, like, either shout somebody out or whatever. What thing? Friend's birthday party.
Things it didn't wish to.
Sequel is now paused. Oh, okay. Yeah, but like, I mean, there's also like a thing that's like, you know, I've had people come in and be like, oh, the fucking Jack's Films is much better, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, that's a different audience than what I have here. It's a delicate balance that is not in the rules at all, and I genuinely don't care, actually.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not?
Don't advertise yourself, advertise friends, but I'm going to vet the friend, if that makes sense. Like, I'm going to tune into their stream, maybe give them a follow or whatever, but since they seem like a genuine person just by what you were telling me, then yeah.
Want to do in the first place? These questions raised furiously in Stanley's.
And that's why I did the little shout-out thing.
No!
I would have rated them,
He
but
screamed into the bucket. He couldn't
I
accept it.
just
His own
started
life
streaming.
in someone else's control.
Are they
Never.
still
He
live?
squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
Also, why are you
labeled with
surrounded by
emotions,
KFC?
happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this
Buckets.
very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another
Also, there's only one KFC, the other is a Jollibee's, the other is popcorn.
human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Uh-huh. Yeah-huh.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
Yo,
Both
same.
of them wanted to begin
I've
watching
done a
a
good
movie,
bit
any
of that.
movie, but then stop it halfway
sneezed in-
through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Oh.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
Uh-oh.
What? Wait.
Ah!
What was happening?
My own face on
Why
my
had
face.
the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
What happened? The bucket?
No. Stanley
The
can't
bucket
leave this
happened.
place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this
My
very room.
face?
But at least he has
Oh.
the bucket. To be trapped
Orion
eternally
threw
in
my
darkness
face at my
isn't
face.
really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my
'cause you
bucket
can
with
throw
me, right?
this emote
I'll be okay,
specifically.
won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now,
At me.
he was about to find out.
Bucket?
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of
Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all?
Buckets may have been my idea.
No,
Bucket.
surely not.
Alright.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not
I'm just
correct
gonna
to the meeting room,
jump off
but
the
Stanley had
end
felt the bucket
and
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was
end it
simply the
there.
place to be. And
'Cause
here
it's
it was.
funny.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
First door on my left. There we go.
No.
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. A cargo lift, yes.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Well, from here... But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
How deeply touching indeed. I gotta get back to the full ending because apparently each time you go back, it just updates the like which Stanley Parable it is. So like it'll say Stanley Parable 3, Stanley Parable 4. It's potassium. Oh, your friend's not streaming anymore. Oh, wait, they are. Hey. Sorry, I'm not a very active chatter. No, you're fine, dude. Sorry that I'm ending soon. So many buckets. I was having a fun time watching. That's what I'm here for. I scared my cat by doing that. But yeah, no, we're gonna be raiding, we're gonna be raiding Finji's friend, guy. Go give him a follow, go give him a sub, go give him a kiss. Kiss. Have a fantastic time. I hopefully be back tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know when I stream, but I'm just glad that you guys are here. Ow! Stop biting me, you little bitch. Bye! My cat bit me.
They know who they are.
Ligma, Sugma,